Welcome on board. Once more, it's a busy day here in the Kingdom of Belgium. Welcome on board to my viewers. Welcome on board to Ambazonians. Welcome on board to every Southern Cameroonian out there. And welcome on board to my fellow activists in the struggle. I throw a big salute to all of them for doing a tremendous job. I throw a lot of praises for them not being able to derail, just as a good number of others have been taking sides. Welcome, 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 welcome on board. Today is another day for us to share some vital information concerning this revolution. A lot has transpired, a lot has happened the past days. So we have a lot to share. Ladies and gentlemen, share, and share. Invite friends, invite groups, so that our information can go viral, can go far and wide. For those who don't know our struggle properly, those who are not well informed concerning our struggle, so that they can start digging and be knocking doors for us, to see that we get to Boya as fast as possible, quicker than we expected. Ladies and gentlemen, invite and invite and invite. Share and share and share. Share to groups. Share on your platforms. Share on your Facebook wall. Share on your WhatsApp groups, so that we can digest this information together. Today, the 3rd of July, 2020, I said I'll be coming online, Central Europe time, 3 p.m. and 2 p.m. Ambazonian time. I throw a salute for all my brothers and sisters back there on Ground Zero, from Kupe Mwaninguba, from Ndian, from Momo, from Manu, from Meme, from Fako, from Goketunja, from Menzam. I throw a salute. I hail all the restoration forces, the way they fight Kupe Mwaninguba one touch, the mighty Red Dragons of Libialem, under the command of the mighty Fimasha. I throw a salute for all the restoration forces them, where they take risks for effect the lockdown way it go on, for make sure say the enemy it lasts open for all the lie where they lie to the international community, say the war is almost over. There is nothing like the war is over. If the war be there over, then all their colonial administrators, they know the height and they give orders from La République du Cameroon. If the war was over, then the colonial officers, they must stay on their seats for our land. If the war was over, then the fake minister, Paul Tasong Nogodi come, Bamenda or Kumba or Boya, then be guarded, heavily guarded with armor cars. So the war day in full force, and with the draft, the war draft we will put in place. The days ahead are going to be somehow a way that I can't explain to you right now, but be rest assured that we have all the capabilities to make sure that we stop these colonial forces of La République du Cameroon from inflicting more pains on our people. But what they are doing, they inflict pains not on our restoration forces, because they cannot face our restoration forces. They inflict pain on our normal or our civilian population, so as to force them to start working against us, against our own soldiers, against our restoration forces. That is what they are doing. That is the simple trick they are using. But they are losing and losing and losing. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start this show today, it will be quite a different format for this show. I will start this show with a word of prayers. A moment of silence to our fallen heroes. And may their souls rest in peace and find favor in the bosom of the Lord. God Almighty, the God of justice, the controller of the universe, the maker of heaven and earth, the I am, the ancients of days, the Lion of tribe of Judah, I call upon you. I know this prayer might sound funny, but it's genuine from my heart. I call upon you, who created mankind, to take away any enabler, the rest of the enablers of the Ambazonian genocide. Start taking them to their early graves. Those that have gone forward like a Kema Patrick. Others will join them soon. Honorable Mbandam, those were enablers. And I also learned Minister Ebongole, who comes from my region, also joined his ancestors. Those are enablers because they occupied positions in the government of our enemies. So the Lord is doing his job to take them away one after the other. So my Lord, I call upon you to continue taking away every enabler that is working against this revolution, to ensure that all of them are crushed and brought down to the earth. My Lord, my God, I know you can never fail the Ambazonians because they are fighting a just cause. You are with them. If it wasn't a God-ordained revolution, then by this moment, 4 years, then we must have surrendered. But we still have this power to defend our land because you are behind us. I thank you for accepting these prayers. In Jesus' name, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight to our subject of today. There is a draft bill by the Republic of Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, circulating on the social media there. The bill is entitled the Code of Persons and Family. In this bill, section 114 of the draft bill is meant to impose Cameroonese nationality on the Southern Cameroons or Ambazonians. Therefore, I want to categorically state it here that we, the people of Ambazonia, or the people of Southern Cameroon, we reject such a bill. It's dead on arrival. Because according to international law, on the laws of nations, no state has the right to impose its nationality on another state. We had our independence on the 1st of October 1960, whereas La République du Cameroun has on the 1st of January 1960. Pardon me, we had it on 1961, they had it in 1960. So we are two separate nations, and let they don't think that due to their numerical strength or their military might, they can come into our land, walk peacefully in our land, and try to impose, try to enslave, just as they have done for the past 60 years. and impose their so-called nationality on the people of Southern Cameroon, were sovereign people, were an independent people. That bill is dead on arrival, because we know the days ahead, they are going to put that bill in the parliament for them to debate. There is no debate. They are not going to debate. They will just adopt it, because that is how it is done in that kangaroo parliament, in that failed state of La République du Cameroon. So, my brothers and sisters, fellow comrades, I know a good number of us out there are so worried after hearing about this bill that is circulating all over the social media, that a nationality of Camerooners is going to be imposed upon us. But don't sell your fears. They started with special status. It didn't work. They did decentralization. It never worked. Now they are coming up with a bill, so-called the Code of Persons and Family. That will not work. That bill is dead on arrival. It can never work. According to international law, no nation has the right or capability of imposing her nationality on another nation or on another state. And we happen to be a separate state, a different state from them. If you want to put forward arguments with me, come and tell me on this platform that we are not two separate nations. Bring your justifications. In as far as I'm concerned, and history is concerned, and documentation is concerned, we are completely two separate nations. We had our independence on different separate dates and separate years. We speak different languages, a different language from them. So never be afraid. That bill is dead on arrival. It can never hold. If you go to the archives of the United Nations Secretariat, there is nowhere in the archives where it is written that Southern Cameroons merge with La République du Cameroon, or Southern Cameroon is part of La République du Cameroon. There is no treaty of agreement. There is no union treaty. For you to have a nation under your custody, there are things that you have to meet. There are international obligations that are supposed to be met. But none of them has been met by La République du Cameroon. So we are completely two separate people. We just had a gentleman agreement. Just as you can say, car will stay. If you meet up girl, you find her. And not mean say because you go for their company, small brother, they also know you. He big sister, they know you. He pa, they salute you. He mommy, they salute you because they see you come for their picking. You are not married to that girl legally or traditionally. But the most preferred one is legally, because you must have a document that binds the two of you together. And even if it was a marriage that is bound together, there is what we call divorce. Then as from that moment, when the brutal regime of Yaoundé started beating, molesting our lawyers, beating our teachers, raping our girls, and burning children alive and burying them in mass grave, that was an open divorce. So we are not part of them. The new bill that is circulating, social media, is for them to get our reactions. We are not part of them. That bill entitled the Code of Persons and Family can never work on us. They can give award nationality to whosoever stays in their own territory, be it those enablers of Ambazonian genocide, be it some of those Southern Cameroonians, some of those Ambazonians who've decided to sell Ambazonians to them to join them and to enable this genocide on our people, give them the nationalities. I think that law is meant for them. I don't think that law is meant for citizens and the people of Southern Cameroon. The law is meant for those people who are conniving with you to kill us. So award them your nationality. That law fits them. I know they will have a Cameroonese nationality because they are not La République citizens, and as we stand at this moment, they are no longer Southern Cameroonians or Ambazonians. So it is wise for you to have created a bill that you want to table to the parliament that could grant them some nationality known as Cameroonese, to pay them for their bad job done, to pay them for them enabling this genocide on us so that they can reside there. So my brothers and sisters out there, do not bother yourself. La République is losing this battle day in, day out. They started with intimidation. We crossed that boundary. They started with killing, and killing has been normalized. We have no fear because we know that we are fighting for justice, and we know that Boya is our only destination, and that is our homeland where we are going to feel happy and peaceful. We are not saying we will be 100% peaceful, because that type of peace only reigns in heaven. But at most, a majority of us are going to be happy and shall live peacefully. My brothers and sisters, after we must have restored our independence on, I think, September 2017 by our former president Sisiko Tabe Julius, who now languishes in jail, we are doing everything possible now to defend, preserve, and recover all the parcel of our territory that was being stolen from us by La République du Cameroon. And sooner or later, we are going to push out or flush out the occupiers. We are going to send out, we are going to push them right to the borders of Mongo for them to get to their own failed state, La République du Cameroon. We are bent on doing that. You can see that this in the initiative that has been brought forward by His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako Ekome, the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, who has been doing a tremendous job despite of a lot of detractors left and right. The war, the war draft that he has come up with is giving La République and her colleagues and our enablers a lot of sleepless nights. Millions are coming in, and our boys are going to be equipped from whatever you can think. They will have everything possible that they can use in defending themselves and defending our territory. So, La République, after they still were independent for the past 60 years, they will restore that independence for 2017. And that independence will be restored by our former president, who is there for jail now, Sisiko Tabe Julius Ayeke. After we all restore this independence, we need to find the independence again. We need to seek for independence, because we take back to where they be tifan for we, and then out for our hand. Now what we simply do na say, we defend, we try to protect what you want take and back where they be still for we. And if others was what part they remain from the thing articles where they be tifan for we, we claim them and they will put boundary, will build gate properly. So now the point out, they may no man no fear. Men no man no fear. Would you go for Boya? If La République never fit for win for 4 years, people be say na 3 weeks, 3 months. If they never fit for win for the past 4 years counting, no say they never fit win. in as much as now we donate funds for make sure say we counteract them, for make sure say we fight with them properly. You see what our boys that they do for Ground Zero. You see what our boys that they do. Our boys that they put their lives on the line. Our boys that they come up with a lot of technology. Our boys that they buy weapons out. All the sense where they get out for school. Why we do chemistry? You know this chemical and this chemical, when you do and so, you do and so, it will give this reaction. They don't put at work. When I see somebody call one black leg, call is it Clovis who we say be ex-fighter, he can't claim say they never key soldiers. That story no correct. Una must not say na enabler. Una must not say na sellout. Because that story it not get justification because the videos where you see them, where people see them for social media, where you see how restoration forces them, you see how life where they blow off cars, ammo cars, and you see how army they do well, fall, scatter all over, gone there all side. Then that boy can tell that say we need to kill armies. It's a lie. It is simply talk so that the work that way they tell him make it do for try for discourage people. Make it say he tell it be that fake soldier and be fit kill army. If they be here gonna disappear. Or make it no say at that time if they never kill soldier because they never get good weapons. Now they get weapons. That is happening. If he used to say not be safe, make a step elect rather than hiding from Yaoundé. So my brothers and sisters, there is one boy there, he said he is an ex-soldier. He has been bought over, he's a black leg, trying to tarnish the image of our restoration forces, trying to downgrade the works of our restoration forces, that the restoration forces never kill soldiers. That if they get the sound of a gun, all of them move away. But that is not a true story because you yourself, viewers, fellow viewers, you can attest to the fact that videos are circulating on social media whereby you see ammo cars are being blown off, soldiers dying, well, crying from left to right. That is the job of the restoration forces. They are doing a good job. So he is only there to frighten you people and to weaken the resolve, to think that we cannot fight, to think that we don't kill armies. Our boys are doing the job. So, second on the topic, on the agenda of today, we also have some rumors circulating out there on the social media that the former president, Ayeke Tabe Julius, was taken out of prison with a few selected members of his cabinet and had a backdoor meeting with some authorities from La République du Cameroon in the presence of the Archbishop of Yaoundé, trying to negotiate or giving terms of negotiations. My brothers and sisters, fellow comrades, either it is be lies or it's a true story. What we want to bring to the population, or what we want to state categorically clear, is that former President Ayeke Tabe Julius is in jail. He no longer serves as a president of this revolution because we don't have natural presidents or everlasting president. That because those are some of the things that we are running away from, that failed state of La République du Cameroon. We respect institutions and not people. He was an architect of the formation of this government, of the formation of the IG. He thought that he will rule us for life. No. Unfortunately, he is behind bars. And as all of us know, you know it clearly, nobody can rule from behind jail. And even if he was out from jail, he will not come and rule us because the position of the president is not a personal property, or is not a family property, or is not a family asset. That one thinks that if he is not there, nobody else can handle it. So we heard that he was taken out with a few of others that are dancing to his tune, and they went to discuss with some authorities from the Republic of Cameroon. I don't know if this statement is very, very right, but that is the rumors, but just to debunk such stories. And I want to think that you should have nothing to worry about. The government of the Republic of Cameroon and the international community at large, including the United Nations, the African Union, the AU, the Commonwealth of Nations, all of them know exactly the people that are supposed to represent Southern Cameroonians when it comes to negotiating or bringing us to a negotiated settlement. And it's not Ayeke Tabe Julius, because he's in jail. I remember when he got to Belgium, you can go through my profile, you see me with videos with him, posing with him, talking with him, you see me with the flag. He said, no one can rule us from jail. Bala was in jail with Bala was in jail. Dr. Fontaine Niba was in jail, and Bala was trying to rule from jail. I was an eyewitness. I'm a living witness of what came out of his mouth. He said nobody can rule us from jail. Nobody will rule Ambazonians from jail. Now it's his own turn. He is in jail. He can never rule Ambazonians from jail. It is simple. And he also added in his statement that anyone who tries to go derail from the main goal of this revolution, which is unconditional independence, will be put under the bus and forgotten. And that is exactly what the Ambazonians have been doing. Because they have found out that every step that he has taken from jail is not leading us to Boya, but is leading us to one Cameroon, one and indivisible Cameroon. And that is why people don't take instruction from him. If you think that we are lying, tell Ayeke Tabe Julius to call for a ghost town in the whole of Ambazonia. Let's see if it will be respected. And then you will know who rules. But whenever the IG, under Dr. Sako, the IG of the people, the interim government of the people, calls for a ghost town, an emergency lockdown, it is respected properly in the whole territory of Ambazonia, in the whole territory of Southern Cameroon. And that tells you who rules. So whosoever will be having talks, behind talks, backdoor talks with Ayeke Tabe Julius will be a waste of time. We know with the days in the days ahead, they can free him to think that if they free him, the revolution is going, the war is going to die down. Never. Freeing Ayeke Tabe Julius will be a waste of time. But I don't say you don't free him because he's supposed to be a free man. He hasn't done anything. He was fighting for justice. In the first place, he should not be in jail. He has been deprived of his liberty and rights. So I won't say you should hold him for... But if you hold him and thinking that you are keeping him so that if you free him, he's going to bring more chaos, then we thank you and we say, release him. If it will be chaos, let chaos come. We shall fight that chaos and face you, La République du Cameroun, until we get to Boya. He should be free. He has his own family. He has friends and followers. And all the rest of his members of his cabinet should be free. Not just the cabinet. We have thousands of people, boys and girls, who are suffering there in jails in the name of Southern Cameroon. They should be free. They should be freed. And thinking that if you free these people, the war will come to an end. No. In the first place, we were not fighting because you locked up people. You know the reason why we are fighting. And until we get to Boya, the fighting will never stop. We will make sure that La République lend money from international lenders and many private individuals until they are bankrupt. and we have an independence, that is when they will be flattened. So my brothers and sisters, to each and every one of you out there, never be worried about the rumors circulating that former President Ayeke Julius had a closed-door meeting with some La République authorities. Because right now, in as much as I stand, in as much as I know, La République du Cameroon is a failed state. It has no leader. It has become a chiefdom. So for those who want to be under failed chiefdom, not just a chiefdom, they can go to La République and seek for nationality there under the new law that they have created, which is entitled the Code of Persons and Family. They should go and pick up a nationality there because that is a failed state. Not on us. So never be afraid. Don't be worried with such meetings, with such backdoors meetings that are being held, chaired by Ayeke Julius. The only talk that we the people of Southern Cameroon, the people of Ambazonians, are willing to have and are willing to present ourselves there is the Swiss talk that we are still waiting for La République. That is the only internationally recognized talk that have been stated, that was being endorsed, that have been endorsed by the United States of America, Britain, Germany, and many others. They will come on the table and we shall sit as two equal nations because we had our independence and they had theirs. They never had the independence together with us. How come we are part of them? How come we are part of them? We had our own independence. They had their own independence. Let them take us, let them come on the table and show how we became part of them. Let them come with documents. Let them come with proofs. Because we have everything in our keeping. Because we know we are fighting a just cause. But they are so afraid. They think that they will use the method of intimidation, killing, bribery. And then the war will die a natural death. And then they will come up and say, yeah, we have solved the problems. We have built classrooms. We have done this and this. That can never happen. This generation of today is the never again generation. Do you think I reside in overseas because I'm happy? It's because I had no chance there. I had no opportunities there. I was a little businessman, hand to mouth, in Bangem Market Square. Many people know me. I sold petrol. Even there to sell petrol was a problem. Those colonial representatives that were sent by La République in the name of state councils, dues, they will come and lend petrol from me and they won't pay. When I want to ask, they will start other stories. The next story will be that you don't have a license to do that. They will close down that place. You will see the way they function. So I've also undergone the same suffering just like you are going. I know what I'm talking of. I know what I'm talking of. Some people call us terrorists. We are not terrorists, and that is why the world can never accept that appellation on us. The world can never title us as terrorists. The world can never call us as terrorists because the world knows that we have a genuine case. We are fighting for justice, but it's just that because of the interest that they have built with the nation of La République du Cameroon is taking a lot of, it's a slow walk, but gradually they are getting there. They can't stay quiet forever. So it's our resistance and resilience that is going to bring the world into this matter. And let me tell us here, independence or liberty, we are talking of liberty, not even independent, because we are already independent. Liberty is not given for free. You must fight for it. Every good thing that you need, you must fight for it. And that is why we are fighting. We have taken it, we are defending it, and we are still recovering most of what was stolen from us. And thereafter, those great multinationals, they will come to talk with us. So never be afraid of that. Still, to recapitulate on this point, never be afraid. No talks, no discussion held by Ayeke Tabe Julius and a few members of his adopted cabinet can ban on us. None of those talks. Comrade Ayeke Tabe Julius is speaking for himself. He's not free as any of us. He needs his freedom. He can accept anything that they say for him to gain his freedom. You can't speak with somebody without a free mind. You dodge people. Don't you see the mafia? You avoid to speak with people who have free minds, who are free, who are not in chains, and you want to speak with people who are in chains, who are suffering under your torture, so that they can accept whatsoever you say. Just as people like Bala, who had no great mind, who had no great determination, abide to that. They accepted and they signed some documents and left others in jail. And today when they came out, their main focus was for them to carry the agenda that was given to them before they were freed, to destroy the interim government, to destroy the people's revolution. But they tried numerous times and they haven't succeeded, and they will never succeed. Have you ever heard of Agbobala? Have you ever heard of him again? No. Because if we discover, we the people of Southern Cameroons and Bazonians, we are very smart and intelligent. Immediately we discover that you are working with the enemy, you have been compromised, you are put under the bus, because we have to get to Boya. And Bazonia is a moving train. Have you ever witnessed IC, TVG when it's passing? No other train moves. That is how Bazonia is moving. Anything along its way is being crushed until it gets to its final destination. And that is how we are going to do to get to Boya. So, free your minds from those rumors that Ayeke Tabe Julius had a meeting with some dignitaries from the Republic of Cameroon, trying to negotiate how he will be freed, and many others. He is not going to be on the negotiating table. I am calling on La République that stop wasting your time talking to Ayeke Tabe Julius. He is not speaking for the people. He is speaking for himself. He is also an Ambazonian as me. He has equal rights just as I have. Nothing that he decides to ban can ban us. Never. He's jailed. He needs his freedom. Free him. If you want to speak with us, come to Switzerland. Come on the table. We need a negotiated settlement in Swiss, where we will sit here, you put your Cameroon flag, and we sit there on the opposite side. We have international mediators, and we speak equally. So, my brothers and sisters, that is what I had to say about I had something about that rumors. And thirdly, today, we had a few days behind, there was a threat made by General Ayeke on Fimasha and the Red Dragons of Libya. Let me tell you, what is disturbing General Ayeke from fighting, from defending homeland and making us to get to Boya. Rather than him fighting, he is talking of Fimasha, threatening Fimasha. Many people have threatened Fimasha. Many people have pronounced him dead severally. The media house, the paid media houses, fake journalism, they have done that severally, but he's still alive. He has rendered La République useless in Libya. He has taken over the territory. That is how we have to do. We take and defend. If you see a general in the name of General Ayeke, he has worked under Fimasha. He has moved and formed his own branch. if he was fighting a genuine cause, if he was fighting for a free Ambazonia, don't you think he wouldn't be focusing on Fimasha? He will focus on the enemy. We have just two enemies in this fight. The two enemies are one, La Republique, and two, the internal enablers in this struggle. Our own people that happen to side with La Republique du Cameroon to leak secrets and to fight us in the name of people like ministers, those fake ministers, directors, teachers, policemen, gendarmeries, and so on. Those are enablers. Those are the type of people I'm calling on a person like General Ayeke to focus on. Fight La Republique, fight enablers. If you can recall, the same General Ayeke destroyed crops, properties of our own civilians, inflicting pains on a population that is already suffering from the brutality of the military of La Republique du Cameroon. And that is exactly what the La Republique du Cameroon military does to on our people. The same strategies were adopted by General Ayeke. If he fights our people, then for who is he fighting? He fights against us. He's not fighting for us. So it is high time we don't take this threat light. From today, as an activist, as an ordained activist of this struggle, General Ayeke, we won't take it light with you. Wherever you are, the restoration forces will go after you. I'm not saying the Red Dragons. The restoration forces will go after you and a few of your men and clear the way before we face La Republique du Cameroon. We don't take threats lightly now at this moment. And I know you also made such threats so that Fimasha can come out and make audios and videos so that you can locate him, because you have been given all that intelligence. You can locate him and leak those locations to the military. But he was so smart not to come out, and he will not come out. He only comes out when he wants to fight the enemy. The one enemy who happens to be La Republique du Cameroon. You can't come on social media if you are fighting for us and you take a weapon that was invented by Fimasha and that has been doing a lot of job, and you show to the social media that look at what he's doing with that. Can this weapon kill people? What type of weapon has he been using to blow off those armor cars? You are jealous of Fimasha. That is what I can say. If you were a real general, go there and do your own weapon and ask us to sponsor. We will fund that and you fight the enemies. But you are not fighting the enemy. You are fighting your own brothers, fighting the civilian population, extorting money from them, burning their crops and burning their houses. And you think that we will take that as a threat? We will take that threat so lightly? No, we shall go after you. We shall go after that threat. And any person behind that threat is you. And we know you have sponsors. So my brothers and sisters, let's put Fimasha and the Red Dragon in our daily prayers. And we know the good Lord will protect them, will protect the mighty Fimasha, and will protect his forces, and protect all the other forces that are defending the homeland, the true forces of this revolution. General Ayeke, your time is up. And brothers and sisters, I think we have on this agenda of today, the war draft, is the turn of the people of Ndian. This war draft initiative is a very powerful initiative. It has silenced the mouth of those critics of my trip to Boya. It has given us a new boast. It has given us a new zeal. You have seen people drafting even from ground zero. You have seen people drafting from left to right with coded names. You have seen money coming in because those people are not putting their monies into this initiative because they want to stay as slaves. They are putting their monies into this initiative because they want to be free. Each and every one of us wants to be free. Don't you see what lack of freedom does? The daughter of the colonial dictator of La République du Cameroon, Brenda Bia, was crying and breaking things because she was in cage. She had no liberty. So you can see what someone who hasn't got liberty, even in a rich home, can do. Then what about us that are facing the bullet? So we need our liberty. I call upon the people of Ndian to support this initiative. Do it just like you have never done it. I call on sympathizers of the Ambazonian struggle to back and support the people of Ndian. I call on the people of my county of Kupe-Mwaninguba division, Kupe-Mwaninguba County. I don't want to get that name. Division, those are colonial appellations. To back this initiative and support people, the Ndian also. I call on my people of Belgium, Southern Cameroon, Belgium branch, Ambazonia, to chip in something to support the people of Ndian this week. This is the last straw. It is breaking the camel's back. Don't you think we are winning this war? Why are they coming with more? I've seen videos and pictures of new armored cars that are being ferried in. It means the old ones, where are they? We have destroyed them. They can't show their damages. They only know to show when they kill civilians. They put it on the media to frighten us, to weaken us. They say those are les séparatistes terroristes. Those are ce sont les soldats Ambazonie. But they don't bring their armor cars and their death on the social media. They try everything possible to keep it. If they are coming in and importing more armor cars, it's because we have destroyed the first contingents that they brought. And we are going to do so and destroy more now that we have the capabilities. Every science student, every student of chemistry, biology, physics should come out and show any little thing that he or she learned in class to help, to aid us. That is how a war is fought. We no longer buy weapons. We don't bring things from out. We do things locally to defend ourselves. Self-defense is enshrined in the international law. It's a human right. Nobody can, if you see someone coming with a gun, someone trying to kill you, you have to defend yourself. If possible, you kill that person before he takes away your life. So let each and every one of us make all we, whether you hide for Usai, for China, for Thailand, for Usai, for all kind of village, make sure say we support. When I imagine if all we, if it's Somangin our 1,000 francs, even from Grand Zero, how many how many Ambazonians a day? 2,500. Now small drop water, as a decaf small drop, now it make one jerrycan. So not in it is small. Because as we put in money for support this this war draft, we pray on top of that money, and because even God knows a war will fight a bit just, not true war. Now why did he bless that small money even if not plenty? La République de borrow big money because the fight war way not be just. Now why they need to succeed? Now why they need to succeed? So my way never yet give you money, no matter the country where you come. Make sure say you revisit your country and draft. Because if you not draft now, you go draft 10 times than what you be supposed to draft now when we get to Ambazonia. Because other people don't go finish sweepers, then you just can't enter. But my way not get no money, way not get no position for give anything, it be okay. But people they all identify say they supposed, where we, you, me, and when I will identify say they supposed to give something. Because we need to say oil, we need to say petrol for fight this war. Another like you go for Syria where a group of people, they take petrol, oil well, then they do. No, we only do contributions. So, that's all we must do. And lastly, today, I get on this agenda for this topic for today, no to reconstruction adopted by France, UNDP, and La République du Cameroon. Why I will say no to that reconstruction? The reason be simple. We will not be invite someone who can destroy something for we, they after bill. That is the first reason. If we want for accept that any reconstruction where it must take place, it must start now with the reconstruction of the lost life. We all lost more than 15,000 Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians. If they feel reconstruct those lives back, more get our people back, may we see them for life, may the family, the way they lost their people, may they see them back, then we will start talk with Palava reconstruction. Without that, that is the point where reconstruction must start. And you see the colonial minister, the chief enabler, Paul Tasson from Libya, lewe in step Ifufo village, and he work at the hide from one hotel to another with other enablers, few enablers, trying to talk about the reconstruction, how it will pass, play will be secured, and play will not be secured, and so on. He is a chief enabler. He will never set his leg on that territory when this war is over. You never ask him wait to be happy with the money where they donate and say they buy mattress. Who's are the mattress at the end? No way. They don't organize another festival. This thing where they call it say reconstruction. Now a festival for embezzlement. That money where they collect for France, they don't say they're already lost. Now then you why here now the minister around 1 billion, the one 2 billion, the one this. They don't organize another jamboree for embezzle, for load their pocket. Because even if they use 1 billion, can't build anything. As they put block, our boys they burn that block. As they put zinc, the next morning the zinc they go down. As they put mattress, the next morning the mattress they go down. We will not be the people who burn those places. As they destroy, we will be our own. We will only build these things when we roughly go for Swiss talk. We'll get a negotiated settlement, and then we'll get reparation where La République or we get for pay. They will use that money we so can construct our land the war one time. They get a lot of problems on their own side. Stadiums, they don't get them. Roads, they don't get them. Water, potable water, nothing. Electricity, some villages that are total blackout. Make they take that 40 billion away France they give them because they want the extort petrol through them from our place. Make they take and build roads and hospitals and schools for their own part. We will take care for our own part. By the way, we have been taking care for the past 6 years. What did they don't do? Now we will take care. For Matano, I come out GBHS Bangem for Bangem. The Bangem school they will go up for building. They went na PTA bill and now we will join money bill. The lab for them now we for diaspora will join money about 12,000 euros. Well equipped science lab. They have not been doing anything. So my brothers and sisters, I talk that one for PG so that one mami the fee understand. Why I say no to reconstruction adopted by the UNDP, France and La République du Cameroon has a reason we know that if we want to start with reconstruction, the type of reconstruction we need is in quote, the lives that we have lost more than 15,000 Ambazonians. They should reconstruct them and bring them back to life. That is one reason that will give a chance for any reconstruction from there. And since they cannot start, and since they cannot bring them back to life, we say no to reconstruction. The very United Nations, the UNDP, is an organ under the United Nations, who have been crying for quite a long time, for 4 years. The United Nations has been using her single statement, her normal speech. We are watching. We call on restraint from both sides. Who are both sides? We are not both sides. We didn't go to any person's house to attack the person. They met us in our house and attack us. What is so difficult for the United Nations to come up and sit firm and ask La République promptly, withdraw your forces from that region, withdraw your forces from that state, and go to the negotiating table. And let's see when if they won't, because a handful of nations have interest in La République, and they are trying to play with that interest at the United Nations, particularly France, second, and also secondly, we have China, that is extorting African nations, poor African nations. She also has a lot of interest in Cameroon, selling puff-puff left and right, selling wrapper, everything. Very soon they will start washing pants in your house, and then you will have sense. They will do that in La République, that failed state. They wouldn't come in our own place because we have taken our nation and we have control of our nation. Very soon we will be free and we will get to Boya. Such nations, we will have cooperation on friendly agreement if they want. If UNDP is serious, why will you be adopting reconstruction in the midst of a full-blown war? How is the reconstruction going to take place? You heard the minister, the failed minister, the colonial minister of La République du Cameroon, Paul Tassong, said clearly, and that the contracts of this reconstruction will be given only to Southern Cameroon. It tells you clearly what we have underwent, what we have been undergoing for the past 60 years. Meaning each contract or anything that took place there wasn't given to those people to construct. Lies, the truth is coming out gradually. You heard the colonial dictator, the old dictator, chief colonial dictator, who is worse than King Jong-un of North Korea, Paul Biya, admitted unconsciously in a Paris, that was one Paris peace, Paris trade what talks, that on a essayé de les assimiler, de les intégrer, mais ça n'a pas marché. You want to integrate who? Who are you integrating? You have two nations that wanted just a single to come up and build on equal strength, equal stature. You say you want to integrate them. You don't try that. So we say no to reconstruction. Any stone or zinc brought on that land should be burnt down. That is what we have said. Material things can never be equivalent to the lives that we have lost. By the way, they have been killing people. If people burn down material things, material assets, that doesn't sound funny. So my brothers and sisters, this is where I end this show today. And you have any more information, we are talking. I'm not giving the information just by myself. We share information. People from Ground Zero, if you got information, vital one that you want us activists to share so that the world should know, and those who are not, who don't have that information, you can as well inbox me. We share the information, we digest it, and we talk it out properly. So I would be coming online again next week. I don't think this week, because we're going to have some busy meetings. But know that I want to assure you that the interim government is doing a wonderful job. We can't be telling you our partners and friends that we have made to secure this freedom. Diplomacy is done behind doors. Closed doors, not at the open. Otherwise, your enemy will counteract them. So this is activist Zale Clovis Songe from Coupe Mwaninguba Division, talking to you from the Kingdom of Belgium, where I have taken refuge because I can't set my leg there. I can only set my leg in Cameroon. I can only set my leg in Southern Cameroon, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, when we are free, when we will have the amber fly that will step down and I touch either in Bamenda, in Boya, in Tiko, where we have reconstructed. But for now, we are all targets. Not just being targeted on Ground Zero, we are being targeted here. They send their agents up and down, but we know how to handle them because this is an open world. So, my brothers and sisters, let's all stay safe from the coronavirus, and let's pray that God protect us and let's protect ourselves. And once more, I call on unity. Let the death of Pa Litumba stand as a measure of unity to all of us. He never took side. Let's unite and let's fight as one people, for people who are fighting for one major thing, a free Ambazonia, and not people who are talking of federation, decentralization, or special status. Those people are not welcome in the unitary platform. So my brothers and sisters, once more, goodbye and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.